Hey, what's up, guys? Hartman here. We're gonna be ripping some big boards today, as usual. Uh, I'll hop in quick, then I'll say what's up to people in chat. So I'm gonna hop in the big board in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. Waiting on 10, so hopefully if anyone does want to get in, plenty of room. Um, Money anything, Jeff D. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Need more third round Clyde Edwards Hilaire in my life. I'm guessing you're talking about the thumbnail. I'm guessing he goes in the third there. That's from a few years back. So yeah, it might be a little outdated. Maybe I need to update it. It is pretty funny though, seeing like I think there's like Clyde Edwards in the third and like Robbie Anderson in the sixth or something. I don't know. It is always, a little bit good to go back and look. We don't exactly get everyone right every year, but it is funny to see those guys that just didn't pan out. You think he's making the third crazy yellow snipe? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, well, right now the Chiefs RB he goes in the second, so I don't know. I actually like Ken Walker's price though, but yeah. Clyde Edwards. I mean, maybe we'll have to do a tribute pick at the end. I don't even know if he's still in the league right now. I think last I remember, he was like a saint or something. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I don't know. I don't think we'll be seeing him again anytime soon. Lil Smo, hey, what's up, Lil Smo? Thanks for stopping by, brother. What's up, fam? W for Omega. What's up, W for or what's up, Omega? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Bingo. Oh, okay, yeah. It was the thumbnail. That's what I kind of figured. That's probably like in my little background. Probably can't see it, but it's probably the same thing. Um, Yeah, no, I mean, I think though this year the Chiefs, Andy Reid finally got a good running back again. It's like you look at Kareem Hunt, you look at any Andy Reid running back really ever since Kareem Hunt and before, it really only got bad and turned into a committee after they got rid of Kareem Hunt because the his off field issues. But like I don't know. I just feel like with as much as they committed to Walker and with Mahomes' injury, I'm feeling pretty good at his price. I guess his limited pass catching is what you got to worry about, but I don't know. I'm definitely totally fine with Ken Walker at his price. I'm only a little bit overweight, but I've been clicking him like even up at like I don't know 15ish. I've been clicking him up here sometimes over like Love or Saquon. Uh, Hampton A Chain. I would consider even clicking him over those guys. I think Genty's the only one that like where I see it a tier above. Um, but yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't give us the Clyde Edwards-Helaire type run out. His spike potential here is huge. Oh, for Ken Walker. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I think just the touchdown upside and just in general the type of player he is, right? He's a home run hitter. Like he can score from anywhere on the field. I think the only thing that really keeps Walker from joining that like first round tier is obviously, new team. We're kind of projecting his role. We don't totally know. They've used a rotation more lately, and that's kind of been more the style of the NFL. So like maybe his workload's a little bit lesser than like, the Bulls of him are predicting. But I'm not super worried about that. I think it's just a lack of pass catching. And then, the Chiefs offense is a little bit more questionable about scoring opportunity just with Mahomes coming off that injury. But like I said, I'm still feeling really good about Walker up here. But I do get the negatives on him, but I think that's only what keeps him from being like a first round guy. I think in the second round, you got big question marks on all those guys, like Saquon with last year's Eagles. He's getting older, a lot of touches. Maybe he's kind of, going down the hill. Um, Love, don't really know if he's good or not, right? He's never played in the NFL. Hampton is Hampton's somewhat similar. I also think he's in kind of that similar situation where we don't really know Hampton's usage on the Chargers. We're hoping it's good. He was a first round pick, but he did deal with the injuries last year, and they brought in Keaton Mitchell, pretty good contract for him. Brought back Kamani Vidal, and then A Chain. Obviously, it's just the team is a dumpster fire right now, right? The Dolphins are just a dumpster fire. But I think if you're going by talent, he's clearly like the best out of that second round tier guys. But yeah, I mean, I think you make the argument for Walker all the way up to like 13 overall or something. And I don't know. I don't really think he has a ton more question marks than the other guys that go in his range. I think when you get up to Genty, it's a little different because he has so much pass catching. And at least I guess the Raiders have pretty big downside risk as a team too. But I feel better about them with Kubiak, like getting a half decent offense going than I do with like Miami, for example. Um, and I also think, Genty had a decent year last year, and the Raiders were so dysfunctional. I mean, their offensive line was like a joke. They had Pete Carroll's son trying to put him out of position and stuff, switching guys all around the line. It was just a mess there. Um, it'd be cool to get JSN here just because I don't have much. No real reason I don't have much. I just haven't really got a lot of 5 picks, I don't think. We'll take Johnny Taylor. I like Johnny Taylor, like, at 6, he's fine. I think you can argue him with any of the receivers too. But yeah, I've just been kind of picking him at ADP. I'm a little bit overweight on him because sometimes people take like Lamb or CMC over him, especially a little bit earlier in the offseason. Um, but yeah, no, perfectly happy with JT there at 6. Uh, but yeah, I don't know, I've been feeling pretty good on him. Been kind of trying to catch up on my Jefferson. I'm up to like at it even the field. A little bit low on Love because I was liking Barkley a lot early. I still like Barkley quite a bit, but I don't. I think with Barkley, it's just really hard to project in the sense that I think he's probably a pretty safe pick as long as he's healthy. He does carry more injury risk just by being older with all that workload, but I feel like Barkley, like it's pretty easy to see the Eagles bounce back, I guess, and just kind of blame it on the OC. I think the O line obviously isn't what it used to be, but in a way that can kind of benefit Barkley because the tush push doesn't work nearly as good anymore. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm been pretty bullish on the Barkley bounce back, but I can totally see the reason not to be. The new OC also was speaking pretty highly about him, like they want to use him everywhere and stuff, but that was like introductory type stuff, so maybe he was just kinda hyping him up. Um, but yeah, I've been pretty in on Barkley and, I don't know, I feel okay with it. I think I think the hard thing with him is, like, is he washed or did the team just kinda fall flat last year, right? So Walker goes, so I am gonna go Barkley here. My other favorite pick, Neighbors. I have almost 20% Neighbors. I'm not super worried about the injury. That's kinda all that one comes down to. But but Barkley, I've been pretty in on. I mean, I think that pick probably puts me up to like 15% on him. Um, I'm a pretty big believer that the Eagles were like the OC was really bad. They were pretty dysfunctional last year. I think their O line is still, it's not what it used to be, obviously. Um, I don't know. I just feel like Barkley in the second round, especially compared to the guys that go later, like Chase Brown, I don't mind him, but I do think you're taking on some risk there where like I guess the risk would just be maybe draft risk. He did get pretty good workload and everything. And he was really good later in the year. He was just really, really inefficient early. Like the first couple games with Burrow, he was horrible last year, but he did pick it up as the year went on. Um, I don't know. I could consider maybe like Chase Brown up there. His role feels maybe a little bit less locked in than like Barkley, but I don't know. Maybe he could be someone to consider. I'm just a pretty big believer in the whole Eagles bounce back. So here we could go 3 straight, go Travis Achan. I do like going 3 straight. It's, one of my favorite build types. I like Tech quite a bit as well. We'll go Travis Achan. We'll go 3 straight running backs. I think I did this exact same thing last time I streamed. I think it was different running backs, but 3 straight, that's, I don't know. That's the way you build in the big 2026. I I think it is a little bit. Obviously, it's on balance, right? Because it's so heavy RB early, but I feel like it's manageable to build out of. I think last time when I did it, I went a little bit heavier on QB capital than I probably should have, and I ended up a little bit unhappy with my receivers. but I think overall that worked out okay. I think if I don't go like elite QB in here, or if I do, I give it like a decent break. It should be okay to build out of, but I'm gonna try to be a little bit more conscious of it this time. I think last time I did this, I let the receivers fall behind maybe a little bit too much. So I might be a little bit more conscious about really stacking them out in these like rounds 4 through 8 range. Like maybe only one pick diverges away, if any. Are you more into second, third? Are you more into second, third round RB or receiver? I'd say second round RB for sure. I mean, to me in the second round, it's like Barkley, Walker, A Chain, Love, if Genty was there or Hampton. Basically any RB that went in this draft above Barkley, I would pick them over any receiver that goes after Jefferson. Um, I mean, kind of like how it went. That's kind of how ADP is. And then I do like Neighbors, Nico, and London, where they go. But I'd say second round is definitely more RB heavy. Like if any of these guys fall, I really want them. I like Chase Brown and Derrick Henry too. But I like pretty much all the second round picks, but I would say I lean running back. And then third round, I generally go receiver, I would say. I really like Travis Achan. I really like Jacobs. Um, but like Kyron or Brees, I don't mind passing on them for a receiver a lot of the time. So I would say in the third round, I tend to go more receiver. Second round, I tend to go more running back. Um, Who Ames, sup fam? Just got home from work. Hey, what's up, Who Ames? Thanks for stopping by, bro. All right. So we need wide receiver one. I don't mind pulling up Terry or Devontae. I like Burden and I could go Burden, just go for the huge upside swing. We'll do that. I was thinking Terry and Devontae because they're more a little locked in, like weekly, floor and everything. But I think right now, maybe with a weaker receiver room, maybe I just take a huge upside shot early and hope that he's like a breakout receiver with Burden. But I don't know. I'm also hoping maybe someone comes around I like, but yeah, I leaned a little bit more towards the upside for my wide receiver one there. I don't know. Generally, I would tend to think maybe like Terry for a little bit more locked in wide receiver one. I guess the only thing with him is like I don't know. I guess he's probably pretty locked in as a wide receiver one. I was gonna mention maybe they like take a receiver in the first round, but Terry would probably still be the one over them as like a rookie. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I figured I'd just go for the upside swing there. And then a little bit later, I'll maybe like later on that'll kind of change the archetype I'm looking at where I'm looking for a little bit more steady floor type guys. All right. Demont goes at 49. Um, I mean, I don't mind that pick, like taking him over that Trevion, like Quinshawn, Scadaboo, uh, Swift range. I don't mind that idea, but it is a little bit rich. So I could go Rome and double stack my Bears. I think we don't. I think we go Watson instead. I really like Watson this year where he goes. I like Rome too a lot and Tate, but I think that Watson is pretty clearly, wide receiver one in Green Bay. Obviously, draft capital wise, that's how we're drafting it. But I think there's a pretty big gap, and I like getting pieces of Green Bay's offense. I feel pretty good about them in general. They're probably not going to be top five or anything, but they should be a pretty good offense if everyone is healthy. And I think Christian Watson's obviously the main receiving threat. You got Dobbs gone. You got Tucker Craft coming off the injury for like early season production. So yeah, no, I've really been liking Christian Watson. Um, Rome I like too, but I'm not sure if I want to double him up because then I think that makes me really want to take Caleb, and I don't really want to spend that pick on Caleb with this weaker receiver room. I think I'd rather wait on QB just a little bit if I can. Wow, Dak at 60. Wow. There's some some interesting picks in this room. This guy also went George Pickens at 13, which I mean, it's kind of interesting, but I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Cook, Pickens, Zay Flowers, Ted McMillan, Dak Prescott, Carnell Tate. I mean, I think it's a fine start. The Dak one is maybe a little bit much, but maybe he was really worried about getting him back at 84. Um, but yeah, I mean, kind of an interesting start. I don't really mind pulling Pickens up, even though I don't really like him that much this year, but it's more because I'm worried about the holdout thing. I get like, spike week upside. And if he just said he was like showing up to camp and ready to go, I'd be picking a ton of Pickens, like where he usually goes at the 2-3 turn. But I'm pretty worried about the holdout stuff. I think he'll fall in the summertime. Maybe I should get a little bit more pre-draft, but I'm a little bit out on him until we kind of see if he shows up for camp. If he doesn't, what kind of the deal is there? Um, 3 RBs in a row is so strong this year. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think they usually feel pretty good. Ooh, I love Jaden Daniels. I have so much Jaden Daniels. Um, that's tough. I don't mind Marvin Harrison. If it times out, it'll give me Jaden. I guess I could pick Caleb. We want Caleb. Um, I like Jaden Daniels a lot more in a vacuum. I want Caleb. I was really hoping for like Makai Lemon. Um, I'm Jordan Tyson. I'm fine with. I'm a little bit underweight, but he has been falling. Um, yeah, I did say I didn't want to have to take Caleb. I ended up taking Caleb anyway. This time I won't take a QB like right after though, like I did last time. But I don't know. That feels okay. I just really didn't like those receivers. If Lemon would have got to me, I would have taken him for sure. Tyson. I mean, I mean they're rookies, so it's all kind of mystery. But I think just the injury stuff, all that concerns me enough that I'm willing to let him fall just a little bit more. Um, and then it looks like I'll get some options I like back at receiver anyway. Marvin Harrison would be good. Alec Pierce would be good. DK or Cortland would be fine, but I won't have to take them. I'm gonna take Alec Pierce. Um, oh, Fantasy Football Garage, Candy Man. Yo, what's up? Hey, what's up, bro? Thanks for stopping by. My dog, Fantasy Football Garage, and he's going live with Meg later. I think they're drafting albatrosses in about an hour. I'm pretty excited for that one. I might have to. I was saying in the fan speak earlier, I might have to hop in and snipe you guys on Jordan Spieth. I know that's. I know you guys are gonna reach on him if Meg has her way. Didn't draft Ludwig Aberg. Team is dead. Hey, there's still time. He's not drafted yet. He's not drafted yet. But no, I mean Ludwig Aberg, he's very clearly the GOAT of golf right now. For anyone who doesn't know about golf, if you need to know, Ludwig Aberg is basically the GOAT right now. Yeah, he's like the Tiger Woods of our generation. Oh, and how about Tiger Woods? He done did it again. Flips like an angry face. It's either an angry face or a confused face. The Tiger Woods thing was crazy. I can't believe like how do you have Tiger Woods money and not buy it and not like get a driver? Like I don't know. It's crazy that he flipped his car over again and then apparently I don't know if he got a DUI or it was just like suspicion of a DUI. Like I don't know if they charged him with it or not, but I did see some stuff that I don't know, he might have been under the influence of some substances. And I don't know, it's so crazy to me to be like Tiger Woods level and not just like pay someone to drive you there. But I don't know, each his own. Poor Tiger, he needs a driver, probably just too much of a control freak. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That could be it. Some people, yeah, because some people do get really uncomfortable with like other people driving. Like I know like like my dad was like that, like teaching me how to drive and stuff. It's like having someone else behind the wheel, not comfortable, not very comfortable for him. I think we go Godwin here. I really like him. I think at this price, I still feel pretty good. Wouldn't have minded Addison or Pearsall, but they both go. Yeah, I think we go Godwin. I have a guy I'm hoping gets back, but he has a lower ADP. And if he goes, I'll mention it. But really happy to get Godwin there. I feel pretty solid. Like I feel like I have a decent base at my receiver room now with Burden, Watson, Pierce, Godwin. At least like Pierce, I feel pretty good as like wide receiver one on the Colts. Godwin is, I guess Godwin carries some risk just because last year with the injury and he didn't really look the same, but I feel pretty good about Godwin having that, having a decent role in the Bucks offense with Mike Evans gone. He's a little bit of like a reception merchant, kind of short area guy or medium short area. So hopefully he gives me a little bit more of a floor. And then if the Buccaneers do kind of bounce back, he gives me some ceiling. But I think I feel decent with this base. Obviously, I got some work to do at receiver still, but I think it's building out okay. Um, and did the guy want go? No, not yet. Pittman wouldn't be bad either. I want Wandale. But if he goes, okay, so I'm gonna take Wandale here. Yeah, I think we just take Wandale. Feeling really good about him. I actually don't have very much, but I definitely want quite a bit more of Wandale. I think I mean, he was just really good last year. They paid him a bunch of money. I feel good about the I feel good about the Titans improving as an overall offense. I'm pretty in on Cam Ward overall too at his cost. So I like that it opens up a stack to Ward as well. But I think Dable brought him in. They paid him a bunch of money. Obviously, he's already been in Dable's system before, right? So they felt like he was a good fit and he's already played for coach. But yeah, Wandale, I think he gets a little bit disrespected, and last year he was really good, and he put up some big spike weeks. I feel really good getting him at 102. I kind of wish I would have been picking him more earlier. I think I kind of had it in my head like he was just that like reception merchant guy, and he kind of is, but his spike week upside is there, and right now he's clearly the wide receiver one in Tennessee, and I like Cam Ward to improve in his second year. Did it happen in Florida? That probably sums it up. Yeah, I think so. It said it was like right by his house, his Jupiter something house. I think so. Um, oh, what's up, man? Walling, stop my brother. I get uncomfortable with certain people behind the wheel. Okay, that I think is kind of everyone though. Certain people, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people. But with some people, they just get really uncomfortable. Like doesn't matter who's driving. I feel like, um, but yeah, certain people behind the wheel, I think could make anyone nervous. Yeah, it happened in Florida. He's got issues with the pills from all the surgeries over the years. Tough scene. Yeah, no, I mean, It I think, yeah, just when you've had that many back surgeries and everything, and every time you're probably taking painkillers for at least a month or 2 months to get through, like, the time that you actually need them, it's like, I don't know, it's probably so hard to get out of that, like, I couldn't even imagine. Like, when you've gone through that many surgeries and you have to take them and you're supposed to take them, we're gonna go Baker here, pair up with our Godwin. Uh, Easy pick right there. Yeah, Baker for sure. I like Dobbins a lot too, but I just would much rather get the second QB there. Um, but yeah, it's just when you have that many back surgeries and then every time you just gotta take them to, like, get through the actual pain that you're supposed to be taking them for, it's probably just so hard to get out of that. Like yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, it is yeah, it is rough to see, but I don't know. Hopefully, he comes back even stronger. He was, apparently he's not they say he didn't get, like, injured or anything, but you never know, right? He could have dealt with some injuries from he flipped his car, so I guess yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough scene. I need more Wanderlei too. Yeah, no, yeah, no, me too. I should have picked more earlier. I don't know. I think I just had the perception of him in my head that was so negative, and then I don't know, let it taint my view on him a little bit. But I think I think also seeing him clearly be the number 1 in Tennessee, like, as of right now at least, and probably going forward, uh, I don't know, that made me a little bit more like, kinda come around to him and stuff. Daboll loves his guys. Yeah, no, he really does, huh? I mean, hey, that's good if Wan'Dale's the guy he loves. I mean, they paid him like it. Like, uh, alright, so here I don't mind Golden. I could just take Cam Ward. I probably don't have to. We'll grab a Golden share. Probably could have grabbed Shakir. I guess Shakir though, he's a little bit on the down with DJ Moore getting there. Um, I'm hoping Cam Ward with my next pick. If not, I'm not super worried with Caleb and Baker, 2 QBs, but I would like to get him. Doubled up the Packers, don't have Love. I think that's fine though with the gap in them. I just wouldn't pick any more Packers, but not really any more to pick anyway. But yeah, that feels pretty good. I'll recap the team quick too. So I have a 2-3-6-0. Caleb Williams, Baker Mayfield at QB, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Travis Etienne at RB, Luther Burden, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce, Chris Godwin, Wandale Robinson, and Matthew Golden at receiver. So I feel pretty good with how this one's coming along. You know, I feel like my receiver room doesn't feel like a mega weakness now. It feels okay. RB is obviously strong with the top three, but I should start looking at some guys to add on as RB4, RB5. And then tight end, don't have anyone yet, but not too worried about it at tight end. Uh, I think in the next like 3 rounds, I probably wanna get my tight end one, but I'm not super concerned. Like, Sadiq would be fine, Goddard would have been fine, Likely, Strange, Andrews, Juwan, Hunter Henry. Like, any of those guys are fine, Chig's fine. So I'm not too worried at tight end. Locking up my 3rd QB would feel pretty good. Another running back, Chris Rodriguez wouldn't be bad. I hardly have any, so it'd be nice to get a little bit of him. Jordan Mason, I don't love him, but it wouldn't be terrible here. Yeah, I think those are the guys I'm deciding between at this pick. Um, Wandale is a reception merchant. My prior issue is that he has the lowest depth of target ever recorded in PFF history. However, he should get more downfield targets this year. Yeah, no, I mean, I think we did kind of see that on the Giants last year, right? Like we saw him get more downfield work last year than I feel like we had in the previous years. I mean, I don't. It must be true. That has to be true because like the year before, he had like 100. What is it? He had some insane stat. It's like 140 targets and not 1,000 yards. It's like or yeah, he had 140 targets, 93 catches, 699. And then last year he gets the same amount of targets, 92 catches, and he has 300 more yards. So I do think we saw him get opened up a little bit that way last year. Um, so I don't know that I think that definitely makes me feel better with him too. See him getting used a little bit more like down the field last year. Y'all don't live in Florida. That's normal everyday driving. LOL. Yeah, no, I mean, I've never driven Florida. I'll take your word for it, well, uh, I don't know. I think I'll stay out of Florida then if that's the case. But I mean, maybe because Tiger Woods done did this a few times now. So, um, Stephen Hines, just hit the sub for you. I believe I saw you with Who on a show a week or two ago. Good luck to you, sir. Hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah. I was on Who stream a couple weeks ago. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for stopping by. I think we go Sadiq here. That's a huge fall on Sadiq. Wow. I got him at 150. So 23 pick fall on him. Um, I don't know if there's any reason for that. I mean, I'm not a huge Kenyon Sadiq fan. I feel like a lot of his college like metrics didn't really seem too good. He kind of just seems like athleticism is what's really pushing him up. Obviously, he was the tight end one before the combine, but it seems like he's kind of living on the athleticism. Like every metric, like yards per route run, team target per pass attempt, like blah blah blah. It's like Kenny Sadiq looks pretty bad in most of them, but you know, athleticism is a huge factor at tight end, and on a faller, I'll take him. He's almost for sure a first round pick, so I don't mind taking a shot on him. Um, I'm at 19% Wandale. Didn't realize, but I've been in on him. Yeah, no, I mean, that feels pretty good, 19%, and especially if, like, you're saying, like, you probably got most of it a little bit earlier, that feels pretty good because he's probably gone up, what, like, 30 picks or something? 20 to 30 picks? He's in the 90s now, or he's in the, yeah, early 100s. He was at, like, 120, 130 range, I think, when it first started, so, yeah, no, I mean, that feels really good. Wandale is a great pick. Yeah, yeah, no, I should have been in more on him earlier. I had that, yeah, that negative, like, perception, but yeah, no, I mean, Wandale feels really good, and, like, I feel pretty good about the Titans improving this year, I guess, in general. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about making bets on them. Wandale and Ward are the only guys I feel super comfortable with, though. Um, just because I think it's really hard to see how that receiving depth chart shakes out with Ridley, Io Manor, and Chimere Dike. Um, it's really tough with their, receiver room to see how it shakes out other than I think it's pretty obvious Wandale's the one, but, but yeah, it makes me a little bit hesitant on the other guys. Like, I bet, yeah, like Ridley, I only have 5%, Chimere 5%, Io Manor 2.7. So I'm underweight on all of them. Overweight on Cam Ward, somehow, however that works out. But, but yeah, no, I definitely wanna get more Wandale. I don't know about the other ones. I think Chimere Dike is the one that interests me the most for upside, but then Ridley's kinda interesting, I guess, more like a floor play. Um, it's kinda tough for me with, I guess, the Titans receivers after Wandale. But I do like betting on Ward and their offense to improve as a whole. I think I could go James Conner here. I don't have a ton, I'm right at field. I don't mind that. I think him and Algier are gonna kinda be more 1A, 1B anyway. So, we'll grab James Conner there. Just get another guy, like, I feel like for sure we'll get some work and, he has potential to be, like, the higher workload guy or, like, a full 50-50 committee with Algier, so feel decent with him back here. Um, maybe I could have taken a little bit more of an upside swing, but, like, James Conner, I think, has, a ton of upside if Algier went down or anything like that, just like all these other backup guys. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I feel okay with Connor there. Kinda just need an RB. My Tampa exposures will either kill me or save me, LOL. Yeah, no, I feel good with Tampa this year though, because I think all the O-line injuries is probably the biggest thing, but, like, everyone got hurt. I mean, McMillan got hurt, Godwin got hurt, yeah, all the receivers got hurt, right? Even Amika missed a game or 2, I think, kinda middle of the year. But, yeah, every receiver missed time, like, tons of O-line injuries. I don't know, I think Bucky missed, like, half the year or more. I think just being fully healthy, coming back, I feel pretty good about the Bucks this year in general. Like, I definitely wanna be taking swings on them kinda all throughout. I think McMillan is my lowest, like, the guy I'm probably the lowest on, but, alright, so we'll go Ridley here. I think, like I was kinda saying, I'm not totally sure on Titans guys, but I'll get another stacked piece, pair with Wandale, um, double stack up the Titans. Feel pretty good there, now my receiver room's pretty much done. I'll probably add on one more. Uh, Probably gonna go tight end next. Maybe coulda went one there. I don't know. Tight end, I don't really mind just kinda punting it and taking a bunch of guys, like, I could even go, like, 4 tight ends, 7 receivers. I could do something like that if I really want to, but, I'll kinda see how it falls back. I'm probably looking at tight end with my next pick, though. Yo, yo, hey, what's up, Crossface? Thanks for stopping by, brother. What what's up? What's popping? What strain are we on tonight? All right, so I'm a couple picks away. Yeah, like I was saying, I'm probably going tight end, I think. Because right now, so I'll go over the team quick too. I have 3-4-7-1. Caleb Williams, Baker Mayfield, Cam Ward, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Travis Etienne, James Conner, Luther Burden, Christian Watson, Alec Pierce, Chris Godwin, Wandale Robinson, Matthew Golden, Calvin Ridley, and then Kenny and Sadiq at tight end. Um, so I'm feeling pretty good with this team overall so far. Uh, I think I would like Njoku. Taylor would be fine. Could go Gunnar Helm, but I'll try to push him to the next round. Gunnar Helm or Otten would be fine. They stack. I think I prefer Njoku because I think I prefer Njoku. Um, I think he's way underpriced. I think he's dealt with injuries, and I think staying healthy is like that's always going to be a big concern for him. But I think when he's healthy, he's just such a dynamic tight end. And if he goes to the right spot, like I don't know, if he goes to the right spot, I just see him having upside to be like a top 10 tight end pretty easily, I guess, if he went to the right spot. But I guess it really depends. It's hard to say like what would be the right spot or whatever. But I don't know. I feel really good with Njoku. I feel like he has the ability to give you spike week at tight end. Like very athletic, explosive guy. He can hit like big shots. He can hit like deep passes, right? Um, See, I really feel good about his upside, and I just think I don't know if he goes to a decent landing spot, then I think the upside could be pretty good, and just like week to week and season long. Because I don't know, I've just always thought Njoku he's kind of held back by the injuries and stuff, but I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of him as a player. Um, could go. So I'm thinking Gunnar Helm. Yeah, yeah, I'll go Gunnar Helm here. Finish out my tight ends. So Sadiq, David Njoku, Gunnar Helm. That feels fine. I think I'm taking on a lot of risk, I guess, because Gunnar Helm and Sadiq, nothing guaranteed with those guys. And then Njoku, still a free agent. Where does he go? Is it somewhere we even like the landing spot? Is it not? Is he like the full on tight end one there? Is he splitting time? Um, so yeah, I think my tight end room has a lot of risk, but I don't totally mind baking that in at tight end. Gunnar Helm, the door's kind of open for him to be clear tight end one in Tennessee, second year player. Hopefully he improves. Sadiq, clearly a first round pick. And Joku, he's kind of the most question mark, I guess, in the sense, not even signed. We'll have to see where he signs. But I feel like maybe I should have got someone a little bit better floor. Like maybe instead of Ridley, if I would have went Schultz, that would have been better, or Hawkinson. I guess Hawkinson doesn't totally guarantee floor these days, but like Schultz, he could have gave me a little bit more floor. Maybe something like that over Ridley would have been better. But I don't know. I don't mind going in Njoku Helm. I think Njoku just feels a little scary right now because he's not signed, but I I'm a pretty big fan of him, and I guess when he signs, I want to be overweight before he signs, especially this cheap. I mean, I'm taking him as tight end 26. Like I don't know. I don't really mind taking the swing on him, and I think he'll rise quite a bit when he does sign. I wouldn't mind Ray Davis here, Katron, Najee Harris. All those would be fine. Yeah, probably looking at running back. One of those three would be good. 007 up. That sounds pretty good. I don't think I've ever had that one. I don't even know if I've ever heard of that one. Yeah, I've tried one with 7 Up in the name before, but I never heard 007 Up. Where do you think he'll land? I'm not on Njoku for points per game potential. Um, where do I think he'll land? Who needs a tight end? I think here I'm gonna go Big Naj. He has some visits with Vegas, which wouldn't be as great, but they're saying they're gonna split time. Maybe he gets a little bit of a goal line role. We also had a visit with Seattle, so we'll take Big Naj. He's going to visits right now. Might get signed decently soon or right after draft or something. We'll take a shot on him. Um, where do you think Njoku land? I'm not on Njoku for points per game potential. Um, where do I think Njoku will land? Who needs a tight end still? Who needs a tight end? I mean, I feel like it's hard to say a lot of spots. Like, obviously, like Miami could use them. They just re-signed Dulcich. I think Denver is kind of like the golden spot, right? You just assume Evan Ingram's like fucking washed, get his ass off the team. Bringing in Joku. I would think that would be the ideal scenario, at least off the top of my head. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that would be ideal though. Wouldn't mind Katron here. I like Katron a lot. He's kind of scary because like he's just really unathletic. He's kind of just like he's good at like everything, but he's not really great at anything, I feel like. And I don't know, and it's just really more he lacks the not that he's not great at anything, but he lacks the athleticism to really break big runs. I just worry about that at the NFL level, but I have a ton like I don't know, he looks so much like Le'Veon Bell running. It's like the patience, the vision, the one cut, like Katron looks so sick, but then it's like every single time you just see him get hawked from behind. And I don't know. I like Katron. He goes cheap enough. I'll get a bag of him before the draft, but I don't know. Draft capital matters a lot at RB. We'll see how high he goes. He is Penn State's all-time leading rusher, so maybe that means something, but I'm not sure. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I would think that yeah, I would think Denver is probably the ideal spot. Um, Bottom line, you drink and drive, you kill a 4-year-old. What the fuck are you thinking? I don't. I don't think. Is this a reference? I'm assuming this must be a reference. Um, I don't think I know that. I don't think I know that. If that's a reference, I don't know who killed a 4-year-old. Um, must be a reference. Uh, I am on Njoku LOL the Nas. Okay, okay, yeah, I kind of thought that. Okay, yeah, okay. Um, yeah, no, I mean me too. I'm super not Njoku because when you were saying not points per game, I guess like season long, so he gets hurt a lot, but like week to week. But okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. I think here I want an eighth receiver probably. We'll grab the boy Antonio Williams. All the stuff he's going in like second round. He's not very drafted. He has been kind of getting some hype lately, but all of his like pre-draft stuff is he's almost a lock for day two. Good chance to go in the second round. Maybe long term he has a little bit less upside because he's a little bit smaller. He's kind of a slot only guy, but that could help him also maybe get on the field sooner, especially if he's a higher pick. So I've been mixing him in quite a bit lately. Uh, all right. I think I'll go over my team and then I'll hop in another. Um, make 7. Don't know what that means. Make 7. I that might have been something, but I lost it. I lost it. I didn't look at the comment soon enough. Um, all right. So I did a 3-6-8-3. We got Caleb Williams, Baker Mayfield, Cam Ward at QB. Feel pretty good with that QB room overall. Feel solid. RB Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Travis Achan, James Conner, Najee Harris, Katron Allen. Kind of went studs and scrubs. It's like top 3 should carry me, hopefully fill my flex as well. James Conner, I feel pretty good about at price. I think he could be kind of more sharing time with Algier, and then obviously his upside if Algier gets hurt. Najee, free agent, getting some visits lately. Katron, my favorite rookie running back. But super late pick. Luther Bird and Christian Watson, Alec Pierce, Chris Godwin, Wandale, Matthew Golden, Calvin Ridley, Antonio Williams at receiver. I feel decent with their receiver room overall. I think I put in a good amount of volume. I got some kind of more floor guys with Godwin, Wandale. Got some upside with, upside and like hopefully kind of more like a breakout with Burden and Watson. Same thing with Pierce. But guys who with Watson and Pierce, I view them as the clear one on their team. And the Packers are a team I really want a piece of. And Alec Pierce is a guy that, really seems to be taking that next step and could really make a leap this year. Then Golden, Ridley, Antonio at the end. I think my receiver room feels pretty good overall. It's definitely not like a huge strength, but I think I got enough volume in here, enough floor and ceiling to give me a chance to be competitive at receiver, even going a little bit later with it. And then Sadiq and Joku, Gunnar Helm, clearly the weakest spot of this team. I feel fine with it. I'm not a huge Sadiq fan. I mainly just took him because I got a pretty good fall. But I think that's fine. At tight end, I think Njoku has a lot of question marks right now. So does Sadiq. And Gunnar Helm's not proven at all either. But I feel fine kind of punting tight end like that. But I feel like the rest of my team is pretty strong. I actually feel pretty good with this team overall. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Maybe like I was saying earlier, could have got like a Dalton Schultz or something a little sooner. Gave me a little bit more stability at tight end, but feel pretty good with how the team came out overall. And I don't think anyone was in here, so I think we'll just go on to the next one. I'll count it down quick. So we're gonna hop in another big board in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, waiting on 10. Um, but yeah, no, yeah, no, I feel pretty good with how that team came out. I actually think real quick, I'm gonna where would it be? Completed. I'm gonna do the extract teams, get my exposures right for the next one. Uh oh yeah, I guess that takes a second. Yeah, I'll get the exposures right. I'm in the big board lobby right now though, if anyone wants to hop in. Um yeah, I felt pretty good with how that team came out overall. I think uh I think it felt pretty strong all around. QB felt good, RB felt like decent. It was just strong at the top, kind of weaker at the bottom. But yeah, I really like building like that, like with the three RB starts, kind of just hammer receiver. Um, I don't know. I feel like that usually comes out pretty good. And I kind of think too, like I was saying with my last one I did, it was like I took Jaden Daniels and I took another quarterback in the eighth round. And I think this time going three straight receivers here and getting that second QB in the 10th round, that's why it feels a lot more balanced. So I feel pretty good though with the overall balance of the team and everything. Um, all right. Big board 4 out of 12. Um, I guess we could also look at my bigger board. I did one of these a week or two ago. OT off the Schneid was streaming, and he got one filled. Um, in this one I went Bo Nick Stafford, Danny Dimes, which feels pretty good at QB. Gibbs, ETN, Trevion, Scadaboo at 70, and then Jonathan Brooks. So, taking on a little bit of a risk, going a little fragile, only 5, but and with Scadaboo Brooks. Um, but could be a really, really strong RB room, especially if Jeremiah Love's not a giant. And if Jeremiah Love's not a giant, I feel really strong there. And then receiver, I went Neighbors, Devontae, Cortland Sutton, Matthew Golden, Josh Downs, Elijah Surratt, Kyle Williams, Ted Hurst, and Tej Johnson. Receiver, pretty weak. It got away from me a little bit. The Scadaboo pick really kind of hurt the structure of the build, but at 70, I just couldn't pass up on him. That kind of hurt the structure of the build though. But receiver, I tried throwing volume at it, got 9. Hopefully it's enough. Neighbors and Devontae up top. I actually feel okay with Sutton where he's going. Golden upside, Downs, kind of some floor, rookies, swings, and then Kincaid, Juwan, Terrence Ferguson. That's fine at tight end. But yeah, I don't know. I felt okay with the bigger board. Receiver came out a little bit too weak. The Scatabo pick was probably a trap. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I felt decent with the team though. Um, but yeah, I haven't drafted a crazy amount. I still have some little boards left too. I could actually see if the little board is closer to filling. I'll stay in the big board though, in case anyone's like in it. But okay, so the little board's waiting on one, so I'll probably just do a little board. I think I'm gonna hop out of the big board as soon as the little board fills. But yeah, I'll probably just do that because it's closer to filling. All right. I'm gonna leave the bigger, or I'm gonna leave the big board. Sorry, it wasn't a bigger board. I'm gonna leave big board. I'm going to the little board. Um. All right. Oh, TD Mr. Mufasa. See him at 4. I got the 12 spot. I feel like Alex faded. I know too. I feel like I see him sometimes. Um. All right. 12 spot. Little board. Little board. I mean, I'm basically playing it the same way as the big board. Obviously. I don't know. I'd be a little bit more open, I guess, to maybe like making a little bit crazier combos or trying different stuff just because it's a lower price point. But like, I can't really think of anything where my strategy would differ much. When we look at the size, it is a 2 out of 12 instead of a 3 out of 12. So I guess that does make a pretty noticeable difference, right? Because the big board, so is it the big board's 3 out of 12 and then the bigger board's 4 out of 12? Yeah, okay. And the little board's only 2 out of 12. So I guess that does influence it in the sense that I wouldn't be as inclined to go like 0 RB or something like that in the little board. Um I probably just want to go more like an elite QB would be fine, heavier RBs early. Kind of like my last build, honestly, like 3 straight RBs, get a Caleb, something like that. Um, I think in this I'd probably want to lean a little bit more towards that because it's tougher to advance. Um, but overall pretty similar. All right. Yeah, nothing too odd going on so far. Oh yeah, I'm like way underweight on CD Lamb. I probably need a little bit more of him. Um, I don't know. I guess in this range, I'm just a little bit lower on all of them except for Cook and Saquon. Oh, and I also have I think a shitload of Amon Ra too. I want to say 12.6, not crazy, but yeah, I guess back here I kind of more spread it out. I am really low on CD though. It'd be nice to get him at the turn. CD at the turn feel really good. And that I'd either pick James Cook or Genty. Um, I'll probably pick two of these three. All right, Lamb Genty sounds good to me. Um, but yeah, I'm a little lower on Lamb, but it's mainly because I was taking a Monra over him, and yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten too many Lamb falls. It feels like maybe now you're seeing a little bit more, especially with Jefferson up there. Another receiver to kind of push Lamb back. Um, but yeah, I feel pretty good getting Lamb Genty there. That feels fine. Uh, But yeah, a little bit lower on Lamb. Mainly, I've just been going to Monra over him. I pretty much always go Taylor or CMC over him. Uh, but yeah, I'd like to eat a little bit more. It's not like I don't know. I feel like he's just a little bit overpriced. Like he'd be fine, like here, like early second with London and Neighbors. I feel like that's totally fine. It's just I don't know, it's tough to put him up there with, like, a Monra and stuff when you just don't have that same consistency, and Pickens, if Pickens does show up to camp and he's fully healthy and he's just ready to rip, I mean, it's pretty scary for Lamb. Lamb needs volume to really get there, and, I don't know, it just worries me a little. Um, and I think, when you compare him to the guys who you're getting around him, right? You can get James Cook, you can get last year's rushing leader that plays on the Bills. You can get Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the league for my money. Amon Ra, most consistent guy in the league, right? And like just offensive environment, Amon Ra is like right there with Lamb, if not better. Um, and I don't know, it makes it tough to pick them quite often or very much. But happy to get a little bit of exposure there on Lamb. Lamb feels like a bad pick IMO as well. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I think I saw you talking about it too on. I feel like recently on one of your streams I saw you talking about it too. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty tough for me to buy into a lot of the Cowboys at current cost. I feel like Pickens. I would be really fine with Pickens if I wasn't so worried about the holdout stuff. Um, but yeah, it's making it really tough to get Lamb. And then I'm low on Pickens too, but that one I'm not as sure how confident I feel in it. The Lamb being overpriced, I feel pretty confident, but the Pickens one, I'm just so worried that he's gonna like crash out. You know what I mean? Like just being franchise tagged, I feel like he's just the type of guy to not show up to camp all summer and then I don't know, they probably sign him like a week before the year and he just plays anyway. But it's making it a little bit hard to click him over like Nico or Olave for me. But for him, I do understand like if he's there, I wouldn't mind his price a ton if he was just like there and camp ready to roll. Um, but yeah, Lamb is just that lack of volume, I think, right? Because like we look at his, you look at that one crazier he had. What do you have? 180 targets? Yeah, 180 targets, and then you see it fall to 152 the next year, 1200, 6 touchdowns, and then we see it fall even more down to 117. Obviously, he missed like 6 weeks, but like if he's more in that like 140 to 150 target range, then it's a little bit overpriced, right? I mean, he needs to hit more in that like 150 plus, like, more in like 160 or something, right? Or the efficiency needs to go up or in the end zone or in the red zone. But like I don't really think he's gonna get a lot more touchdowns with Pickens there. I think Pickens is great in the red zone. So we'll definitely take Travis Achan here at 36. Happy to see him fall a little bit to me. I wouldn't mind Brees, and then I could just have Lamb kind of hero wide receiver. I wouldn't mind that at all. Um, Amika would be fine too, but I'll go Brees and I'll go hero wide receiver. That feels pretty good. Genty, ETN, Brees Hall, CD Lamb. I feel pretty good with that start. Uh, yeah, no, that feels really good. Really happy to get Achan or Travis Achan there at 36 though. A lot of receivers went off the board. Ladd, Garrett Wilson, and Zay Flowers all in the third round. Um, don't see that too often. That huge runner receivers in the third. Usually you see that more in the fourth. Then David Montgomery at 39. Damn. That that's a little excessive. I think last draft he went at like 48 or 49, which seemed like a reach. And then this guy takes him over Kyron, over Bucky, over Javante at 39. I mean, I love me some Demont, but that's excessive. Green Bean, what's up, Hartman? I don't get to watch your drafts very often here at work, but hope you're doing well. Hey, what's up, Green Bean? Thanks for stopping by, bro. Hey, no, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. You know, hopefully it makes the workday go a little bit faster. But yeah, no, I appreciate stopping by, brother. Uh, all right, so yeah, so we got Lamb, Genty, ETN, Brees Hall. Feel really good with the start. I think obviously I'm going to be looking at receiver at the turn. I probably won't really look at like Quinshawn or Swift or anything unless all the receivers I like kind of go. But yeah, probably looking at like a double tap receiver or maybe like a Jaden Daniels or something would be fine too if I want to go with the elite QB. I'll see what receivers make it back to me though. Let's see. What's Mr. Mufasa doing? Puka, Jordan Love, or Jeremiah Love, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Waddle. Yeah, and that feels fine. I'm not loving Waddle in the mid fourth. I don't know. I think it's fine. It just seems like over like Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans. I have a hard time with it over those guys. I get Burden has a lot of question marks, but I don't know. I'm just not as confident Waddle is separate as the like such a clear number one in Denver. Like I probably prefer Cortland at price, obviously, not just like straight up. But I don't know. I feel like Waddle's steam is a little bit much, but it's not terrible. Also, receivers did maybe get pulled up a little bit here, so I don't know. It's okay, but I feel like his price getting a little rich. Like I'd rather have Terry or Mike Evans, probably Burden, maybe JMO. JMO, I think is kind of a line for me. Where like I'd have a tough time deciding between Waddle and JMO. But JMO's a very clear number two receiver on his team, right? Um, but I mean, obviously the Broncos offense not quite as good the Lions. Um, all right, so I think here I'm looking at would have probably picked Makai Lemon. Um, I might go DJ Moore and then like Jaden. I have a little bit of a bag of Brian Thomas, but not feeling too great about him. I kind of thought maybe the trade rumors would heat up, but they didn't too much. Okay, so I could either go Jaden here or I grab like Marvin Harrison. Quinshawn wouldn't be bad either, but I'm so heavy at RB already. Um, we'll get a little bit more Marvin Harrison exposure. Why not? I mean, dude is supposed to be generational. Hasn't panned out at all yet. Um, but he has a good chance to be the wide receiver one in Arizona. And how valuable is that role? Who's really to say? I think obviously Trey McBride's the real like wide receiver one or pass catcher one basically. But I think Marvin Harrison, there's still room to step up. You could argue Kyler was more the problem. Marvin Harrison was dealing with a lot of injuries when Brisket came in. Brisket did show he can support a little bit more like number one receivers with like Michael Wilson and stuff. Like he can maybe support it a little bit better than Kyler because he was given really high weekly upside at least. But the overall pass volume there does worry me. That's why I'm underweight on Harrison, but I'll take a shot on him there. Makai Lemon's a guy I would have really wanted there. And usually he is there at the turn, but he goes just a little bit early in this one. So I got Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore, two guys I don't take very much. Most of my DJ Moore is from before he got traded. I haven't really clicked him a ton here, but I think his price is fair. I'm not a huge DJ Moore believer, but I think just Buffalo offense, just the overall upside you can get from them. And they did give up a decent amount to get him. They're paying him a decent amount too. Uh, I feel all right with more there, but I'm not like slamming them or anything right now. I'm just kind of picking them here and there, but I'd be a little bit lower at like 60. Um, Marvin Harrison not clicking too much either. But those are just kind of the two best receiver options I think I had available right there. Um, I I don't know. I could have maybe got like Pierce, Jordan Tyson would have probably been my other pick, but yeah, I think just taking the upside swing on, or just like the hopefully he can improve swing on Marvin Harrison. I think that feels pretty good there, or feels fine there compared to what else was available. Um, I like Jaden, but I have so much Jaden Daniels. Like I don't know, and I think he does kind of make it harder to build out of this with the three RBs there. I did get the hero with Lamb, but Jaden Daniels, I don't know. He's like my favorite pick on the board, but I can't shoehorn him into like every build. I'd like to get more Jaden with Terry too. I don't have a ton of that. I would like to get a little bit more of that and try to build that stack more if I can. It is not like it's a little hard to do sometimes, kinda depends where they obviously depends where they fall, but usually you could do it, especially if you took Terry in the 4th, you could do it obviously. So I wanna pair them a little bit more, for my Jaden shares, but he would've been fine there too. He's definitely my favorite 6th round pick by a lot, and he might be my favorite pick on the board. Um, I love Jaden Daniels. The RBs really fell in this one too, like all these guys in the 6. Jalen Warren and the imposter, but Swift and Judkins, both fall into the 6. That's pretty good value for those guys on them. Uh, there's just some little bit weird like selections in this one. Like I don't know, like Jalen Warren at 63. I guess maybe this guy's made a lot of them, so I guess it's kind of just this guy. But he's not reaching like crazy. I mean, Monty, that's a decent reach, but none of the other guys are like insane reaches. It's just interesting names like Warren. Like I don't hardly ever see Warren like way pulled up or if anything he falls. So it's just interesting to see him go at like 63. All right. So what do we got here? Would love Dak. That would be the ideal. Okay, he goes. Damn. Damn, this guy, he heard me talking shit. Um All right. So, fuck, Arizona. Um, I think we could go Ricky, Brock Purdy. Yeah, I'll go Ricky. Is it too early for Purdy? Probably not. I really like Purdy. I want more, so we'll grab Purdy here. Thought about I like Addison the most probably in this range. I was considering throwing Michael Wilson on there to do a double in Arizona. Um, I think that would have been fine too, but I think just get my quick easy stack. You know, I'm already out on the Buffalo stack, out on the Dallas stack now. Um, could stack up like New Orleans or the Jets with my running backs, but I wanted to get like a quick, nice stack right there. And I really like Purdy at cost. I actually like Pearsall at cost too. So, you know, pulling up Purdy just a little bit there, I don't feel too bad about that at all. The only other thing I was really considering was Michael Wilson do like a little Arizona double. I'm sure I haven't done an Arizona double yet. So you know that would have been kind of interesting. Michael Wilson had a decent value, but I don't know. I think the Niners quick stack. I feel good with that. I want to be pretty heavy overweight Purdy. I feel like he's a really good value, really underrated rushing upside. You know, Niners brought in Mike Evans this year. I, I'm a pretty big fan of Purdy at cost though. You know, I think Niners they're just always they're perennially like a top tier offense, right? And I think Purdy has really underrated rushing and I don't know, they're a pass first offense and they're near the top of the league in scoring. If he's healthy, I think he can easily compete with like any quarterback that went in the 7th round probably. You know, maybe Drake May is a little bit ahead, but like I think Purdy could realistically compete with any of these guys. Especially week to week on the Niners, but even over the course of the season, I feel just really good with their overall team, with him, with the weapons. I think injuries are the big concern for the Niners. I mean, every single like skill player they have is either like coming off an injury or like just a fragile, you know, I mean, they're pretty much all coming off injuries except for CMC, and CMC gets hurt more than any of them. Um, but you know, you think about Mike Evans had all his injuries last year, his hamstrings and stuff, right? Ricky P, he gets hurt every year, gets shot his rookie year. Kittle coming off the ACL. It's like everyone there is hurt. So everyone there gets hurt. You know, right now, I mean, they're all okay except for Kittle, right? But I think that like if everyone's just healthy, I mean, Purdy, I think can really compete with almost any QB, at least in the 7th round here. You know, maybe not like Jaden Daniels, Lamar, Josh Allen, but I think in the 7th round he can compete with any of those guys. Um, all right. So right now, so what am I looking at? So I have a 1-3-4-0. I have Brock Purdy, Genty, Travis Etienne, Brees Hall, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison, Ricky Pearsall. So I'm probably looking at receiver. Ah, damn. He just took Laporta. I was really hoping Laporta would make it to me, and then I'd go Laporta Goff. That would have been pretty sick. Uh Wandale, get some more again. Um, you know, we're getting that percentage up there. We're at 5.3 now. You know, the goal is to at least be at field, but hopefully a little bit overweight. Um, I don't think it'll be too bad. You know, his price is still pretty good. Like to me, he's clearly the best receiver pick here. Like I like Jaden Reed too. I'm a little bit overweight on him, but I don't know, like Jaden Reed, he's more just a spike week upside, but it's like over the course of the season, I don't know if he's gonna do you too good. I'd really like Jordan Love too, and I could get Jaden Reed, Jordan Love. All right, I'm probably gonna do the Jaden Reed, Jordan Love stack. Wandale went before me, so I think I go Jaden Reed, Jordan Love. I don't have great stacking options. Like I could take Shuck with Travis Acham, but we'll just go Jordan Love, Jaden Reed. like I was saying too, I like pieces of the Packers offense. I feel like they had the same kind of thing where they dealt with injuries last year, but they're still just a good overall offense. Like I don't feel like the Packers are never going to be like bottom 10 unless they deal with a bunch of injuries. At least I don't think so. Um, so, get pieces of a good offense, get one of the receiving weapons a little bit later, but I'm not going to like heavily overstack or anything on the Packers because they spread it around a lot. Um, I don't know. I feel pretty good with just doing kind of back to back, just doing receiver QB, just doing the stack on the turn. Um, I feel pretty good with that just because, like, the Dak getting sniped, that one was kind of rough because like that was just on stacked. But I feel pretty good bouncing back with these. Obviously, you can also just take on stack QBs. It's not the end of the world, but those are both receivers I like at their price, probably over the other receivers available, or at least in the very like same tier. So I don't mind going with those guys and just hitting my quick doubles, hitting the quick stacks on them. That feels pretty good. Helps ball out the team. Uh, yeah, that feels pretty good. Um, yeah, no, I don't know. I feel like it's coming together pretty good. I'm kind of doing the same thing at tight end. I'm punting it, so I need to start looking at that soon. I don't want to get left too far behind at tight end. Um, and then start looking at my RB 4 and 5. But I feel like it's coming together pretty good. The hero wide receiver up top, 3 straight RBs. Feels like it's building out pretty good. Not my favorite. It's not my favorite receivers, like with Harrison and Moore especially, but I think capital wise and like how they fit in, they feel like fine. I think they just carry a little bit more risk than like some of the other guys in their range. But just because like I don't think like Cortland Sutton, I guess some of these guys could disappoint you, but I don't know, like Marvin Harrison, like he's already just kind of been disappointing where at least like Makai Lemon, the rookies, they haven't really yet. Christian Watson, he usually goes a little later. Like we've kind of seen him spike more. Marvin Harrison, it just gets harder and harder to get behind him, but he did deal with the injuries last year. Arizona's not especially a team I want to be tied to, but they probably will be playing from behind a lot. So, it's probably pretty good for their receiving game. Um, but yeah, I think the receiver room feels fine now though. And capital allocation wise, I think it's pretty good. Wouldn't mind Boston, Kittle. Um, yeah, those would be my two preferences, but if not, could go Shakir, get a little bit more floor. That's a double on Buffalo with no Josh Allen though. And I spent a lot on more. I think I go Boston and Kittle here. Yeah, I think we go Boston and Kittle. Boston going in the 130s. He's projected to get round one draft capital from pretty much everywhere I see. So I just feel like with that draft capital at 130, like it feels like a good bet, right? Like he's going to get draft capital that will at least give him the opportunity to have a major role in whatever offense he goes to. Most likely at least, unless he goes to like the Rams or something, and he's just stuck behind Puka and Devontae. But I think just given his projected draft capital at least, at 130, I feel pretty good with Boston. Same thing with Cooper. It seems like he's pretty likely for first round now. I would say they're both in that camp where it's like you expect Boston and Cooper to go in the first round, but it wouldn't be the most shocking thing if one of them fell out of it. But even at that draft capital, I think I feel pretty good taking the swing on that guy at like 130. You think about like Jaden Higgins last year, he was going around like early 100s, right? And he was an early second rounder. Granted, was he that good? Eh. But he had some big games, I guess, or at least one big game. But but I don't know, just with the draft capital, he's a projected first rounder. I think I want to take shots on that in the 130s. Feel pretty good with that. I know with Boston, his big things like can't really separate, but he is like a huge guy. So, contested catches, stuff like that. But for me with him, it's more just about the draft capital, I guess, that the projected draft capital, and he's kind of the latest guy who seems like a first round lock, maybe Cooper too. But those two guys are like significantly later than the other guys. Even like Conception, he goes at 114, which is a decent difference, right? Almost 20 picks. And then obviously the other first round guys go significantly higher. But I do think they're a different tier of player. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think I like taking shots on Boston, just given, you know, most likely draft capital, all that. And then Kittle, I'm kind of coming around on Kittle. I had a Niner stack, obviously. I'm a little bit underweight on him, but I think you can just cushion behind Kittle pretty easy because there are so many good late values at tight end. Um, where I feel pretty good taking them and just trying to get those spike weeks late in the year when it matters the most, right? And he's an older tight end, major injury. I don't want to get too crazy on Kittle, even though I love Kittle. Like Kittle's an awesome player to watch. He's, awesome personality, all that. But I don't want to get way too overweight just given his age and how bad the injury was. But I do want at least a little bit because his upside, I mean, when he's healthy, his upside is the best tight end in the NFL, right? Any given week, he can be number one by a wide margin. But the health is the health and the age and how late the injury happened. I don't want to get way overweight on him or nothing like that. I think we go Jawan Johnson here. That feels good. Do we have any QBs that matter left? I could take Geno. I do have Brees Hall. That wouldn't be like the worst thing. Um, could grab me the missile. Don't want Debo here. Could grab the missile or Tyrone Tracy. I think we will grab Keaton Mitchell. I was a huge Keaton Mitchell fan last year. I had like 20% or more pre-draft. And then even post-draft, I had like 7 or 8%. But but I don't know. I just I mean, dude's insanely fast, right? And just the home run hitter ability, all that kind of stuff. He was coming off a major injury coming into last year, but it seemed like he was going to be all healthy. And he didn't do too much last year, but the Chargers still gave him a pretty big bag to go there, and they got Mike McDaniel, obviously A Chain's coach. Obviously, like it's easy to draw the comparison in the sense that they're both super fast and all that. Obviously, A Chain's a different tier of running back entirely, but just in the sense that, he wanted that real home run hitter, super speed guy in a Mike McDaniel offense. I think just even given the fact that he can hit home runs, so to speak, or get like 80-yard touchdowns, I think that makes me feel pretty good grabbing him here in the Mike McDaniel offense, where like I only need him to hopefully just any given week I don't even need him to hit. He only hits if he spikes, and Keaton Mitchell, he's the type of guy who could spike theoretically. Now, in reality, will he spike ever? Yet to be seen, but theoretically, he could spike given his speed and everything. Um, that was weird. Why are you donating with Missile? What do you mean? Why are you hating? They gave him all the bread. They gave him all the bread first off. No, I don't know. I mean, I just think he's pretty efficient, right? But how much work will he get, I guess, is the only question. I don't know. I guess to me, it's just if they gave him all that money, it feels like that means he probably has a role. Maybe his role is, kick return specialist, but he's not that good on kick returns. A little known fact, Keaton Mitchell be fumbling them. Um, but I don't know. I think I feel pretty good just given the money they gave him that they'll work him in. I mean, obviously they brought back Vidal too, so that maybe there's not really enough piece of the pie to like go around. But I guess I'm just thinking like Chargers run game. Obviously, you want pieces, right? I guess I'm thinking given the contract, that kind of speaks to like him getting worked in some, but maybe that was more for his special teams value. Um, I just think Vidal gets more work. Maybe I'm wrong. Missile just horrible in pass pro. Okay, yeah, that's fair. And I mean, makes sense. He would be horrible in pass pro. I mean, Keaton Missile is you don't get moving like the missile by being big. He's a pretty small guy, but but yeah, I guess what just throws me on that is the money they gave him because they paid him pretty good, but maybe that's just because like I don't know. I mean, maybe it is like more of the special team stuff. That could definitely be it because he was pretty electric on some kick returns and stuff. Like I know he took some to the house like 2 years ago and stuff like that. But that could be the case. Maybe he gets more special teams work, and that's kind of more where the extra price, extra value came from. Fuck, Gino goes one pick before me. Um, that's fine though. I mean, he's Geno Smith. I can't get too upset. We'll go Eli Stowers here. Last tight end, Kittle, Juwan Stowers. We'll actually grab Tajay. Hope that Jeremiah Love doesn't go to Tennessee. And then what tight ends are left? Yeah, actually we'll just wait on tight end. I'll just go Tank Bigsby. Give me Saquon's backup. Why not? Um, Saquon goes down, he's getting older, a lot of work, right? Obviously, pretty high upside backup. Right now he seems like pretty clearly the backup, like the direct backup. Um, but yeah, that feels good as Spears and Tank Bigsby there. He is explosive, but I've been explosive before after Taco Bell. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But no, I mean, you could even see too, like I think I'm underweight on Keaton. It's not like I'm not going crazy. I have 4%. Like I'm not going crazy on him. But I guess to me it was more just the money was the thing. And I do see him rising, like at least, now he's kind of done rising, but people did move him up quite a bit going there. I wanted to get a little bit of exposure. I also just don't love that running back range, to be honest. Like Tyrone Tracy, I don't love. Emmanuel Wilson, eh. Like a lot of these guys are kind of like, eh. So I figured I'd get a little bit of Mitchell. But it is tough where I could see him completely being a guy that has like no notable workload if no one gets hurt. And he's more like special teams, maybe he does break off one giant touchdown this year or something, but it's like it's not enough to matter, right? Or it could be. So yeah, I think with Keaton, I think there's obviously a lot of risk that you're just taking a zero, but there is good upside if he gets work in that system. He's already been like super efficient. He did play for the Ravens, though. I mean, I guess all RBs are efficient in Baltimore also. But yeah, I see the big zero risk though. I mean, he could definitely be the third stringer, even getting a little bit more money. He could be the third stringer easily and just not get enough workload. But I think if they do a little bit more of a committee, not committee even, Hampton will clearly be like the lead guy, but if they do like enough of a split that the number 2 is viable, then I at least want to take some shots on Mitchell because if you give Mitchell like if Mitchell gets like 100 carries or something this year, that might end up in some pretty good weeks. So, I think that's where I kind of am like I want to take shots, but I probably will be under field on Mitchell at the end, or I'll definitely be under field, but I'll probably be at a pretty similar percentage near the end. Like maybe it'll move up to like 5-6%, but I don't know. I can definitely see the zero risk though. That's definitely in the range of outcomes that he's just like not gives you no usable weeks at all because he's just too buried on the depth chart. Um, I could just get both. That's also an option. And see, Kamani Vidal, I even have more of 6.3%. So, and also this is a little board, so I'm getting my guys. I love me some Keaton Missile. Um, all right. So I think here, But no, I do definitely see your point, Who Hames. I think here Aaron Rodgers would be fine. Aaron Rodgers would be fine. Um, I don't think he retires. Maybe he does, but I like the third QB near the end to get me some more floor. I think we go receiver here. We'll go with the boy Ryan Flournoy. Yeah, yeah. Why not? Yeah, we go Flournoy there. Um, same thing. Kind of give me some spike week upside. Have a little bit of a team stack with CD, but it's super late, so don't really mind doing it with no Dak. It kind of is like a little bit of contingency if CD went down, then Flournoy is really hitting. So that feels pretty good. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean that feels fine. So I think I definitely want one more tight end, and then probably just one more receiver. Just go the classic 3-6-8-3. Um, yeah, I probably need another tight end because just Jawan won't be enough to carry me the whole way until Kittle gets back. Um, I would really like probably Colby Parkinson the most. Ferguson would also be fine. Um, yeah, I mean, or maybe Ferguson over Parkinson, but either way, whatever. If they both make it, then I'll make a decision. But I would like one of the Rams tight ends. If not, wouldn't mind Dulcich. Wouldn't mind Theo, I guess, if it comes down to it. I could also pick Tongus and then just get I could just pick him, but then it's kinda dumb because it limits upside, but I mean, Tongus, if I'm getting him the whole time Kittle's not healthy, it's not the worst click, but I would rather get like a Rams guy or something, someone that can give me standalone value. With Kittle coming back. Um, all right. So yeah, I think so. I want one tight end, one receiver. For the receiver, like I was saying last draft, I've been clicking a lot of Antonio Williams. Or I don't know about a lot, but I've been clicking them lately. Like, you know, last week or so, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But just mainly the ADP stuff, like it seems like he could go like pretty safely in day two, most likely, or like not most likely, but a good shot to get it even into like round two. And he's not 100% drafted by any means. He's pretty undrafted until recently. So I'd be pretty happy getting him, I think. Or I mean, I don't know. I'm just picking more of him right now. I think that would be my pretty heavy preference. Um, yeah, I don't do you have any stacks that I like? SF, Green Bay, Pittsburgh. Could get Wicks. Probably don't want to do that. I've had plenty of Dontavian Wicks in other seasons. I think I've had my fill. Um, could pick Vele, get a little team stack with ETN, but I already have that with Jawan. Zachariah Branch would be okay, I guess, too. Um, Most of the stuff I've heard about him, I guess, is he's more of like a gadget guy, and it might just be really hard for him to get like a useful role right away. So a little bit worried. Also, his draft capital is not no guarantee, right? Um, I mean, neither is Antonio Williams, but at least he's been getting a little bit of the good news cycle instead of the bad news cycle. All right. So every tight end I highlighted except for Dulcich goes. I mean, I guess Mike Gesicki could be the tight end one. We'll go Williams first. I mean, I could just pick Gesicki, I guess. I don't have hardly any. In theory, right now he's the tight end one, and yeah, we'll just go with the Cincinnati piece instead. Um, yeah, I think I do that. I don't have hardly any Gesicki, but I don't know. I just threw him out at the end. I was really wanting one of the Rams tight ends, and I had Dulcich queued, but it's really hard to wanna buy into the Miami offense in general right now. If Gesicki does end up holding as a starter there, could give him a little bit of a role, maybe he gives you some spikes playing for the Bengals, but, really late, just a punt guy. Hopefully, he keeps the starting job. That would be a win for me. All right, so I finished this team 3-6-8-3. Went Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers at QB. Feel pretty good with that. Hoping Rodgers comes back, but even if not, feel fine with Purdy and Love. Uh, Genty, Travis Acham, Brees Hall, Keaton Mitchell, Tyjae Spears, Tank Bigsby. Maybe took a little bit too long of a break here. Maybe could have threw in another piece a little earlier, but I think that's fine. The top three should be strong. Fill my flex even most weeks. And then hopefully one of the later guys can, kind of come up. They probably all need injuries. Keaton to Hampton, Tyjae to Pollard, Bigsby to Saquon. So if one of those guys can get the starting role somehow or get a bigger role somehow, that really supercharge me. But feel pretty good at RB. Lamb, DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison, Ricky Pearsall, Jaden Reed, Denzel Boston, Ryan Flournoy, Antonio Williams. Uh, Receiver feels kind of weak, obviously. I think I have just it's not necessarily that it's super weak. I think I just have a lot of question marks with DJ Moore in Buffalo, Marvin Harrison this year, right? Ricky Pearsall, Jaden Reed. Like, there's a lot of questions about how do their roles in their offenses fit in? Like, how good are these players even? Most of them have either gotten hurt or fell short of expectations or Reed, Ricky, and Marvin, they all have some question marks, but some upside. So I think my receiver room feels okay, but there's a lot of guys with pretty big question marks, pretty big changes around them. Uh, it feels okay overall. And then at tight end went Kittle, Juwan, Jasicki. Wish I would have went a little bit earlier than Jasicki for my third, just to be a little bit more stable. But I feel fine with Kittle, Juwan, Jasicki. That feels fine. But I think overall this team feels okay. I think I like my last team a little bit better. Went with pretty similar strategies, but I think overall pretty happy with both teams. This one, I think the receivers, I need some stuff to go right for sure. Obviously, always need some stuff to go right, but I need some guys to hit the 95 percentile like good outcome, the good side of the outcome. Um, but yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for me. I know I think Meg and Candyman are live on Fanspeak right now doing golf. And then I know Off the Schneid is starting in I think like 10 minutes or something. So check those guys out for sure. But and also obviously check out Who Hames. He streams like almost every day, but like five times a week, at least. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming out, stopping by, chatting. It's always a good time talking with you guys, talking ball. But yeah, I think that's it for me. Peace.